Welcome to the Celebrate Brave podcast. I'm Nicole Steinbach, your host and the International Bravery Coach for Women in Tech. I serve women all over the world to earn more money, create more opportunities, and thrive in the tech industry because tech needs all of us. Are you ready? Let's go. Hello, brave people. And thank you so much for returning to the Celebrate Brave podcast. I know that your time is invaluable. So today we are going to talk about what I learned from doing a big, scary thing in my own development. So exciting. So I held in the second week of January, I held a Kickstart 2022 Build Your Brave 5-day course. This course is not new. In fact, I've been doing this course in various forms with fun names like Kickstart 2022 to very stodgy names like the essential elements of organizational change for about 15 years. Now, the content has shifted a bit. The foundational science, the research has grown. The approach and my skill level has dramatically increased. And it's not new. What was new this time is after implementing this, after delivering this for corporations, for companies, and then in my own business, in my own way, under my own branding, delivering it to companies for a lot of money to their high potentials, I decided that I would deliver it for free. Not only that, I would also deliver it to anybody who enrolled. What? So the container of the content, Build Your Brave, remained the same. And I removed the containers, the subcontainers of tech, women in tech, and paid. It felt enormous and scary and wonky and crazy. And I questioned myself a lot. And I went and did it anyways. And the delivery just ended as I'm recording this. I've rewatched all of our live coaching sessions. As we were going through it together, I actually watched the videos and I did the exercises. And so when it was finished, the 5 days were finished, I actually went back as not a participant, but as the person who creates this, and I evaluated everything. What went well? What didn't go well? What would I do differently? For every single learning module, for every single page in the workbook, and for every single live recorded session. And then I thought, wow, there are some big themes here. And I'm going to share them on my podcast. The next big, scary, hairy thing. All right, so here we go. There are 4 main learnings that I got from doing this big, scary step for myself. Okay, number 1, follow the inspiration. So as I mentioned, I have a lot of experience in this delivery of this course in many different ways. And I have been selling it to corporations and companies for a lot of money. And that's fantastic. Why did I offer it for free for open enroll? This is why. Shortly before this inspiration came to me, I was at a former colleague's, now friend, a fabulous human being who made one of my dreams come true. And we were talking. She has 2 children now. I have 2 older children. We all live in Colorado. Drove down with my husband, got to spend time with her husband. And within our time together, we talked about generosity. We talked about inspiration. We talked about how when we want more, we have to give more. And when we give more, we have to have more. And how this isn't the language we used at the time, but it is the language I'll use now. How paradoxical that is. If you put that into an Excel sheet, it makes no freaking sense. You try to model that, it's bizarre and it's real. It's true. You will never go broke by being awesome at your job. There will always be opportunities for you. So I took this inspiration, this generosity, this service mindset, this paradoxical, if I want to have more, I need to give more. And when I give more, I need to have more. When I want to be more, I have to be more myself. Amazing, right? And I took it into my morning pages. Every single morning, I do morning pages and I do them in a specific way. And as I was writing into my morning pages exercise, this inspirational moment of generosity and service popped out. Offer the Build Your Brave framework course as a Kickstart 2022 for anyone who enrolls for free. What? I knew this was big because goosebumps were all over my body. And even though logic says, don't give nothing away for free, in total, that ended up to be something like 45 hours of preparation and delivery. What? Yes. Because inspiration comes from everywhere and I can feel it in my body. And that was the very first lesson. Just a year ago, I would not have followed that inspiration. I would have slipped back into, but, and I would have lost the incredible, glorious experience of the 5 days with these women. 58 people signed up, 43 stayed engaged, and core group of about 15 to 18 were a part of each aspect, watching the videos, completing the workbook, and coming to the live session more than 3 times. Whew! Transformation. So that's the first one. The second one, the second lesson, number 2. Every time I do something big, hairy, scary, I grow in my skill and in who I believe I am, which means who I am. Doing this big, scary thing, the number one concern I had was, but they're not women in tech. Not all of us are even in tech. We had a real estate agent. We had a business owner. Actually, I think we had 3 business owners. They're not in tech. Will this content, will my coaching be valuable in this big, scary, hairy container for them? My second biggest concern was group coaching, honoring, because some of the people I know quite well, they're my clients. They're my friends. I've known them for years. One woman I've actually known, well, My bestie was there, of course, doing her brave stuff. Another woman I've known since I was the aggressive person who slammed doors and called names and was an asshole to work with. And she was there. I've known her for like, I don't know, 15 years. Can I coach in a group setting with heart and presence and focus, knowing these people so well, and others never seen their name before, honoring their privacy, creating with them their breakthroughs? And the answer is yes. In fact, the answer is fuck yes. Fuck yes, I can do it. Because I was there with heart and presence and service and generosity. Because I have invested so much time in the prep for this. And even more importantly, my skills for decades. And for my skills as a coach for 3 years. I tried to do the math coming up to this with the certification programs I've completed. I have one that I'm doing right now, so I'll be 4 times certified soon. Not because I think it's necessary to be certified and have a piece of paper for everything, but because I am eager and hungry for the curiosity of the specific certification I'm going after, and I go at my own pace. It may be frustrating to the institution, but I am there to get the skills and the knowledge and the insight. I tried to do the math about that, plus my one-on-one coaching, plus my mastermind group coaching, plus the actual coaching I give to myself in my morning pages every single day. And the math, it was enormous. But let's put it this way. It's been a full-time job, more or less, for the last 3 years. And that's why I could show up and show myself my skill level and who I am right now in this moment. Because every time I do a big, scary, hairy thing, I learn so much about myself. Also, when I'm not successful, I use evaluations, a very simple framework I teach my clients. I use the evaluations, and I am always moving to that next step. Lesson number 3, we need each other. We need to support, and we need to ask for support. When we ask for help, it's a win-win-win. Win number 1. When we ask for help, we grow within ourselves. Women would come on to the live coaching, and they would come on because they knew that they wanted something. They knew that they had a question or an issue or a topic. Sometimes they were clear. Most of the time they weren't. I heard multiple times, there's a question in there somewhere. I know that there's a question. I want to show this to you. What is it that I need? When we ask for support, we grow within ourselves. We actually grow our self-trust. The second win, when we answer the call for support, we deepen our own self-trust. I definitely continued to deepen my self-trust in these 5 days, but I saw in the chat, I saw in the Facebook group conversations, and I heard about other people connecting outside of the container of the course, and I'm sure I'll only hear more about it. I saw how when people answered the call, number 1, they deepened their belief that they had something to share. Number 2, they saw the response of the person who asked for help or for other people in the course and their answer, like, yeah, +1, exactly what she said. Building on top of what she said, here's what I can add. When we answer the call for support, we deepen our own self-trust. And the third win When we ask for and answer, we show other people how to do it too. We role model it. Empowered women living in their empowerment, just by living in our empowerment, we empower other women. It's a win, win, win. It's incredible. And the fourth lesson from my big, hairy, scary experience. We want to know how. So many questions were how. How do I find that next job? How do I make sure an organization is psychologically safe? How do I apply for speaking situations? How do I step into this new idea that I have, this new identity I want to have, this new definition of who I am? We want to know how, and this showed up in every single coaching but one. Over 5 days, I think I coached a total of 19 times. Yep, 19 times. And this came up in every single coaching from 4 minutes to 21 minutes. You already know how. You already know how. You know why you believe you can't? You don't. Because what you actually need to do is feel first. Feel first. You need to play. You need to play and you need to suffer. You need to name the feeling or feelings. You know, Glennon Doyle says skited. It's scared and excited all wrapped up into each other. Yeah. You need to let the feeling into and through your body. Ride the feeling, the fear, the joy, the anxiety, the anticipation, the happiness, the grief. Permit the feeling. I call this experience it like a kindergartner. Our society is obsessed with the doing and the learning, where we really need to spend more time, exponentially more time, is on the experience part, the feeling part. You know what? Maybe you can even start to welcome the feelings, all of the feelings, because the how is answered through the ride of the feelings. The results are on the other side of all of that. You, me, we ask for the how. As soon as I had this inspiration, I was like, yeah, but how do I do that? How do I do it? Sound familiar? Where I needed to be, where you need to be, is in the feeling. The feelings I designed for this course, for this entire experience, was generous, committed, present. In the preparation, there was a lot of preparation. In the preparation, I kept going back to, am I generous? Am I giving all I can give? What else can I give? Am I committed? Or am I acting like, oh, this is a fob off because it's free? Am I present? Have I coached myself and meditated and danced around my entire house to my amp music so that when I come into that, writing that email, when I come into preparing other people, when I come into the recording of the learning module, when I come into the live session, am I fully present? Not with myself, but with you. The more I felt, the more I permitted scarcity, fear, anxiety, disappointment. By the way, disappointment from the future that like genuinely never happened. Talk about borrowing problems from tomorrow. Anywho, the more I let myself feel that, the how was answered. And I became who I wanted to be to serve the way I wanted to serve. And the breakthroughs were unbelievable. The growth, the ahas, the belief worth every single second. So those were my learnings from my big, scary, hairy thing that I did to kickstart 2022. What have you done already that felt huge? What are you going to do into and through 2022 that feels big, scary, huge? That's where the growth is. That's where the learning is. So go do it. Until next week, brave it up. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Celebrate Brave podcast. If you're ready to build your brave, to live a life you love, and create a career that matters to you, reach out. Together, we can spend time one-on-one to explore how I can help you. And until then, share this episode with people in your life, people who can join our movement to redefine brave, how we identify it, experience it, and celebrate it.